אפשר להשם צדיקים יבואו גבול זה.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Before I begin my sermon, I just would like to thank every one of you who came today, especially in this rainy and slumber weather. We'll try to stay awake during the sermon, okay? And if it is your first time joining us, welcome. And if you were away and you just came back, welcome to you too. And of course, our deep appreciation to our regular members. Week after week, you are the pillar of our community, contributing countless ways to make every service and program meaningful. And a special thank you goes to everyone who supports our synagogue in whatever way you can. From those who give their time to make our events run smoothly, to those who share their talents and resources, every bit of help is invaluable. Your generosity ensures our doors stay open and our community thrives. And let's not forget to acknowledge all those who work quietly in the background, making sure that our community is a place where everyone can feel safe and find solace and learning and connection. Your efforts is the heartbeat of the synagogue, and your dedication does not go unnoticed. So as we turn to this week's Torah portion, let's carry with us this sense of community and gratitude that makes our congregation so special. So in this Torah portion, Vayakhel, we find a story that prompts us to think exactly about this subject that I mentioned right now, dedication, giving, support that sustains the community. So the Israelites are asked to contribute to the building of Mishkan. And they respond with such enthusiasm that Moshe has to tell them, stop, enough, don't bring anything anymore. Can you imagine a synagogue or a charitable organization turning away an excess of donation today, saying this is enough? It's hard to imagine. It's almost unthinkable in our current context with a lot of organizations, they operate in a very tight budget and the demands, they seem to grow ever larger. So these institutions, they really depend on the generosity of the specific community and broader Jewish community to fund programs and maintain operations and support those in need. So the idea of saying, no, thank you, this is enough, to additional resources could appear, let's say, counterintuitive or maybe even wasteful. Then in Jewish tradition, giving tzedakah, giving something for charity, giving money, is not just a kind gesture. It is a commandment, it is a mitzvah. And in the Talmud, sages explain that while the baseline for this donation is 10% of your income, there is also a higher, an upper line. So this should be 1/5 or 20% of what you have. So there is a kind of a lower limit, but also there is a upper limit on charitable giving. And this guideline, it really helps to maintain balance between fulfilling the mitzvah to support others and ensuring one's financial stability on the other hand. Because if we give too much, we place ourselves in a financially vulnerable position. So it is a very practical approach that encourages sustainable giving without jeopardizing our own financial health. However, some types of giving, they cannot be measured so easily. When it comes to sharing our time, energy, and emotional support, things aren't as straightforward as with money. Our feelings and mental energy, they don't come with a measurable limit like a bank account does. There is no easy rule like don't give more than 20% to follow. For example, when you're taking care of a family member who is sick, giving becomes a huge part of your life. It is more than just physical work, like making meals and going to doctor's appointments. It's about being there for them emotionally, keeping up with their needs, which change very often from one day to the next. Caring for someone you love is incredibly rewarding and powerful, but it's also really hard. It demands so much of your time and energy, and sometimes you might find yourself feeling drained because you are so focused on the health of your loved one, so that you forget to look after your own. Or when you are handling family issues, whether they are disagreements or supporting relatives through difficult periods, you end up giving again a lot of your emotional and mental energy, working to smooth tensions, offering a listening ear, or acting as the peacekeeper. These acts involve a lot of emotional labor, being present to your family, understanding different perspectives, and offering support. That is a lot. This kind of involvement can be taxing, especially if these issues don't resolve quickly, and they usually don't. You may realize that in the process of helping your family, you're putting your own needs on the back burner, leading to a sense of being stretched too thin. Another example, when you're deeply committed to your job, especially in the roles that demand constant attention and energy, you often end up investing a significant part of yourself, pouring your emotional and mental energy into your work. Whether you're meeting deadlines, handling complex projects, or supporting your team, the demands can sometimes overshadow your personal needs. Giving too much of ourselves in this way can really wear us down, leading to exhaustion, stress, and a situation where we're running on empty, unable to take care of ourselves or others properly. Though it is important to recognize that there is a point where our generosity can start working against us. I recently read an article written by Christine B.L. Adams, MD, and she is a child and adult psychiatrist practicing in the US. And so she wrote an article titled, "People Who Give Too Much Explore 11 Attributes and Pitfalls of Those Who Are Toxically Generous." Is there such a thing as toxic generosity? It sounds strange, right? Does it sound strange? Okay. We think that generosity is a good thing. But when our willingness to give and help starts to harm our own well-being, that's when generosity becomes problematic. People who are overly altruistic to others have many labels and names: irrational generosity, pathological altruism, overgiving, and people-pleasing are few of those. Such people go beyond being generous givers and become excessive in their giving to others. Altruism is deeply rooted in our Jewish culture, but it also has a dark side. Such overboard giving is detrimental to the giver because it results in neglect of one's own needs. Here are some qualities that are mentioned in this article that might indicate that you are or your friend might be giving too much. Overgivers are the ones who take on too many projects, both at home and at work. They attempt to do the work for 2 or 3 people. They will explain that they feel responsible for work that is not even their responsibility, work that should fall to others. They quickly experience an excessive fatigue and exhaustion from trying to keep too many helpful projects going on for others too long. This can lead to heightened stress and many psychological difficulties, and also substance abuse and chronic sleep difficulties. People who give too much tend to have a perfectionist trait. They want to dispense care to others perfectly. Since this is impossible in reality, they feel a great sense of guilt when they have fallen short of delivering perfection to others according to their unreasonably high standards. Another characteristic is the imbalance between care giving to others and care given to oneself. People who overgive are lousy at taking care of their own needs: comfort, health, relaxation, vacation, sleep, exercise. They expertly tend to the same needs that I just mentioned for others, but have a double standard to neglect towards themselves. People pleasers do not like to be dependent on others to give them assistance or care. They only like to dispense care to others. There is little balance of give and take in their relationship. So as a result, they seek out thankless relationships where others receive their emotional care and give nothing in return. Self-esteem is only briefly elevated when supplying others with excessive help. Overgivers characteristically lack self-esteem and confidence about certain aspects of themselves, such as giving themselves care, valuing their own desires and needs, and having confidence in decisions that benefit themselves. And if you still think, you listen to all of this and you think, well, that's not a big problem, the research cited in the article shows that those who overgive fare worse with higher mortality from all causes. Pathological giving is hazardous to survival when compared with those people having more balanced reciprocity in their relationships. And Parashat Vayakhel offers a valuable lesson on the limits of giving. When Moshe asked the people to stop bringing gifts, it is a reminder that there is a point when we have to draw the line. For our sake and others, we need to be able to recognize that giving too much can leave us empty, unable to fulfill our own needs or continue to support those around us. So that's all, description of what the dangers of it and what are the traits, but how to navigate this delicate balance. How do we ensure that our generosity enriches rather than exhausts us? So first off, understanding why we often give so much of ourselves is crucial. And that journey begins with some honest self-reflection. It's about taking a step back and asking ourselves some really tough questions. Why do we feel the need to always be the one giving? What are we hoping to get in return? It's not uncommon to discover that our generous actions are sometimes more about seeking approval or love than purely about the act of giving itself. We might realize that we are trying to fill a void or secure a place in someone's life by being overly generous. Recognizing these patterns in ourselves isn't easy, but it is a vital step toward healthier relationships with others and with ourselves. Once we identify what drives our need to give excessively, we can start to address those underlying reasons. Maybe it means working on self-esteem or learning to find validation from within rather than from others. This self-awareness allows us to reconsider our giving, ensuring it comes from a place of genuine desire to help rather than from a need to be needed. Second, setting personal boundaries is absolutely essential. It's about learning when and how to say no, recognizing what we realistically can handle, and being clear with others about our limits. I have to say, I'm not great at that myself, so it's easier said than done. These boundaries are not about shutting people out of our lives. Rather, they're about safeguarding our well-being. So a metaphor for that, imagine a beautiful garden and there is a fence around it. So the fence there, it isn't to keep people from enjoying this beautiful garden. Instead, it's there to protect the garden from being trampled on so that it can continue to grow and flourish. Similarly, by establishing personal boundaries, we ensure that our energy and resources aren't depleted and that our garden is growing and flourishing. Finally, the concept of mutual support is crucial. Community is all about this balance. Sometimes you are offering a shoulder, and other times you are the one who needs it. This exchange ensures that everyone's needs are addressed, including our own. So another metaphor for you, it's like a team playing a game where everyone passes a ball. If you're always passing the ball but never ready to catch it, well, the game doesn't work as well. Being open to accepting help when we need. It shows that we trust our community. It keeps us all stronger, knowing that we can rely on others, making our community a warmer, more connected place. Now, I assume that not everyone here might find themselves giving too much. You might think, well, that's not about me. I'm not this kind of an overgiver, people-pleasing person. But you might know someone who is. Maybe it's a friend or a family member who always seem to be doing something for others, often putting their own needs last. Sometimes you might even feel discomfort about this when someone is overgiving to you. And sometimes it can be even annoying. It even cause some anger. What? Okay. So in this case, it's worth remembering that those who give a lot are looking for love and validation in return. Just by showing them gratitude and acknowledging all that they do, you can offer them immense support. It's simple, really, a heartfelt thank you, or a moment to let them know you see how much they do can mean the world. Your support and understanding can really help. Just by recognizing their efforts and showing appreciation, you can remind them that it's okay to take a step back and care for themselves too. Seeing someone give so much of themselves can be inspiring and it can be annoying. But it is also a reminder that we need to look out for each other. Sometimes a simple conversation or a small gesture can go a long way. It's all about making sure that they know that their health and happiness are just as important as the kindness they pour into the world, helping to keep our community strong and caring. Today's journey through Vayakhel has shed a light on the incredible strengths found in the community and the act of giving. However, it also nudges us to ponder over the delicate balance of giving too much, whether it's in our own time, resources, or emotional energy. This portion of the Torah beautifully captures the spirit of communal contribution, yet it subtly reminds us that overextending ourselves can lead to personal depletion. Drawing from Vayakhel the message, it is clear, contributing to community, family, and work enriches us all, but recognizing the importance of self-care in the process is absolutely crucial. It is a reminder that taking care of oneself isn't a detour from generosity, but a necessary step to ensure that the giving is sustainable and joyful. In conclusion, the story of Vayakhel encourages everyone to find that balance between giving to others and preserving personal well-being. By doing so, the community, our community, becomes a place not just of shared goals and dreams, but also of shared support and understanding. It becomes a sanctuary, a mishkan, where everyone can thrive, supported by the knowledge that caring for oneself and others go hand in hand. Shabbat Shalom. May we all find strength and energy to care for ourselves and for others. And